Welcome class. I wanted to make a quick video here. Pardon my appearance. I've been working on grading essays so far, and this is kind of the way I grade essays: wet hair, no makeup, etc. This isn't addressed to everybody in the class, but it's an issue that I'm seeing in enough of what I'm grading that I want to make an official video for the class as a whole. Make sure that you are reading everything carefully. I find myself typing the same things over and over and over again on assignments that are being submitted, especially the essays. This is frustrating for me on behalf of your instructor because it's stuff that I have written down and posted not once, twice, three times, but multiple times in the Blackboard shell, in your notes. And I even kind of reiterate those as reminders and announcements. So the one that I really want to address here is the use of second person you. If you were taught that that's okay, or that if you're in high school and that's the way they want you to write, go ahead, keep writing like that for high school. But in college, academic writing is never in second person. There's a couple reasons for this. One is it creates what we call an illogical shift in voice or in person. So from the reading perspective, if you've ever taken a literature class, you've probably heard of your narrator being a first-person narrator or a third-person narrator. There's a reason you never have a second-person narrator. It's just not done. The only time that you write in second person is for a mode of writing called process analysis, also known as a how-to paper. That is the only time that it is appropriate, because your audience for a how-to paper, you are actually intending your audience to follow your directions. First, you gather the eggs. Next, you crack the eggs, put them in the bowl. Second, you pour the cake batter in the bowl. So you're literally talking to your reader. That's the only time it's acceptable. I promise you, as a college student, you will never be asked to write a how-to paper. That's stuff you do like in elementary school. So I need for all of you to stop. I'm seeing it over and over and over again. In many cases, and again, if you go back and look at the announcements, I've got it there. I've got it on the self-review and the peer review. And what's even more frustrating is that for most of you who are making this error, I've directly told you personally on my comments to not use second person you, and I'm still seeing it. You have to get out of this habit now, because as a student, these are going to be things that your professors expect you to already know. I'm telling you, you're being taught, but I can't force you to do it other than to just keep taking off ridiculous amounts of points for not following directions. The second reason that you don't want to use the pronoun you, or to write in second person, is when you think about what you're doing in an essay, you are communicating with your reader. So every time you use the pronoun you are addressing your reader individually. You don't want to do that. Instead, replace you with whoever your audience is. This is part of the reason why I ask you to be specific on your proposals with who your audience is. If you're comparing community college with a university, who's your audience? Students. So every time you use you, it's not you, because then, let me backtrack. When you use you in that previous example, you mean a student. But when I read it, you're talking to me. Am I a student? No. I'm a professor. So you does not mean me. You means a student. So in your writing, you want to identify the you as whoever that intended audience is. Okay? No more you. When you move into the research paper, this last essay that you have due, you can't use first person anymore either. So if you have a personal experience that you want to share, you're going to have to, similar to how you replace you're going to have to do that for yourself. For example, if I am writing about the consequences of daycare on children, and as a parent, I have an example of my child clinging to my leg and crying when I drop her off at daycare, instead of saying I remember, I would say some parents claim that. Okay, so that's how you replace these, that's how you shift from second person and first person into third. Just replace the I or the you with whoever you are intending your audience to be or whoever's perspective you are delivering. In any academic writing, second person is never, ever, ever allowed. Stop using you. In research-based writing, only third person is allowed. Okay, so what that means is in the future, if you are given an assignment in any class, if it's not a research paper, you can write in first person or third person, never second. If it's a research paper, you can only use third person. Okay, I hope this clears things up a little bit, and I hope y'all watch the video, even though I look like crap and I'm embarrassed, because this is something I need for each of you to really fully grasp and stop doing. Okay, if you have questions or are having difficulty still like replacing you with what you're supposed to replace it with, just text me and I will help you. Send me the sentence you're struggling with as a text and I will help you. Okay, but submitting it just completely disregarding what I'm trying to get you to do is never going to be a beneficial result on your grade. Okay, anyway, thanks. Text me if you have questions.